shift, every new direction creates resistance, creates rejection. If you wanna move ahead, you'll face the ones who want you dead. Not in body, but in will, trying to keep you standing still. They'll call you reckless, they'll call you wrong, they'll say you don't belong. They'll protect what they have known, even if it's overthrown. Because comfort clings to what it knows, even when it never grows. The more you push, the more they fight, because your change shines too bright. Progress is a beautiful word, but change is sharp and real. It cuts the lies, it makes you feel. Oh, every step beyond the line creates a reason for decline. They'll resist, they'll stand their ground, they'll try to turn your voice down. But every enemy you meet means your change is real and deep. If no one fights you, you're not changing much. If no one doubts you, you're playing it safe. Real change shakes, real change breaks the things that others refuse to face. So don't be surprised when enemies rise. They are the proof you're shifting the tide. Progress is a beautiful word, but change is where it lives. And change will always take and give. Every step into the unknown will make you stand more alone. But standing there is where you lead, through doubt, through fear, through what they need. Because the path that moves ahead is built on change. And those who said no.
They said you failed too many times, you should quit, you crossed the line. Every fall, every mistake left another crack to break. I kept hearing all their doubts, all the reasons to back out. But every no I went through just showed me what not to do. It's not the end, it's not defeat, it's another way I see. I didn't fail, I found a way, 1,000 roads that couldn't stay. Every wrong step that I made led me closer anyway. 10,000 ways I couldn't win, 10,000 times I tried again. If I fall, I rise and say I didn't lose, I learned the way. Every door that never opened, every word that stayed unspoken, built the fire deep in me that they'll never get to see. I don't need a perfect line, I don't need it all to shine. All I need is one more try, one more step before I fly. Every scar, every fall wasn't failure after all. I didn't fail, I found a way. Through the dark I found the day. Every time I lost my place, I got stronger in the race. 10,000 ways I couldn't win, but I'm still here, I'm still in. If I break, I don't decay, I just learn another way. Yeah, they thought that I was done, but I've only just begun. Every loss, every pain built the strength inside my veins. I didn't fail, I found a way. Through the night into the day, every path that led me wrong made me stronger
that being alone was something hard, should try to escape. A silent room, an empty chair, a space too wide to bear. But time has taught a gentler truth. In stillness something starts to grow, a deeper voice beneath the noise that only quiet souls can know. Solitude isn't something to fear, it's where the self becomes clear. Loneliness can be a good thing, though it's hard to understand. It gives the soul a place to breathe, a chance to know who we truly are. But greater still than solitude is finding someone who can see the beauty in that quiet space and sit there next to me. Some people run from silent nights, filling every empty sound. But those who've walked through solitude know what can be found. Not answers loud, not shining fame, but something calm and deeply true. A sense of self that slowly forms when the world steps out of you. Oh, and another soul appears who understands those quiet years. Loneliness can be a good thing, a place where deeper thoughts begin. But sharing that understanding with someone else's joy within. Two minds that see the quiet light, two hearts that know the silent ground, not breaking solitude apart, but gently sharing it. Some bonds are loud and bright and fast, but others grow in softer ways. A simple talk beneath the stars, where silence says as much as words to say. Yes, solitude is good, and hear another voice agree. Loneliness can be a gift, a place where deeper roots appear. But having someone by your side who understands that truth is rare. Not to escape the quiet night, but to sit in it together and speak of solitude like an old friend. We both remember solitude is good, but the quiet joy of finding someone who knows that too is something even better.
I've been looking at my past like it's all I'll ever be. Every scar, every mistake, still holding on to me. All the nights I couldn't win, all the times I gave in, I kept wearing who I was like a skin I couldn't shed. But I know I can move on if I keep holding on. I face who I was, I won't deny every truth I try to hide. But I won't live in yesterday, I'll leave it all behind. I'll take the pain, led me here. Every fear I had to face was a part of who I was, but not the man I have to stay. I don't need to run away, I don't need to erase. I just need to let it go and finally turn the page. I'll accept it, every scar. Then I'll walk away from who you are. I'll face who I was, I won't deny every truth that shaped my life. But I won't stay in yesterday, I'll leave it all behind. I'll take the fall, I'll take the fight, every wrong and every right. But I won't let it define who I am tonight. Yeah, I've been lost, I've been low, but I won't stay there anymore. Everything that made me fall gave me strength to break it all. I'll face who I was, I won't deny, but I won't live another lie. I'll take the past and set it free, so I can finally be me. No more chains, no more ties, no more living in disguise. I'll leave it all, I'll leave it all behind.
I think we all carry a pattern inside, an unwritten rule for how we survive. A quiet equation we learn over years, balancing hopes against our fears. What to say, what not to try, when to stay, when to hide. We solve our days the safest way, until something pulls us astray. And when we step outside the line, the ground beneath us starts to slide. Everyone has their own design, a formula for staying fine. But when you break from what you know, there's no telling how it goes. You might fall harder than before, or find a door you've never seen. When you leave your safe routine, it's either loss or everything. Some people never test the frame, they live within the lines they made. Predictable, control, confined, calling it peace of mind. But growth begins where logic bends, where comfort hesitates to defend, when certainty begins to shake. That's when history is made. Safety keeps the story small, risk is where the chapters call. Everyone has their own equation, a balance built for preservation. But step outside the steady ground and everything can turn around. You might fail in front of all, rise beyond imagined walls. The moment you defy the rule, you risk the fall or breakthrough. Failure and greatness share a door, they live on the other side of more. The same step that could break your name could set your whole life into flame. You can't predict which way it swings, but nothing changes if you don't risk. Oh, maybe the formula was never wrong, it just wasn't meant to last this long. Maybe success and failure both are born from daring to grow. We all have lines we're told to keep, boundaries drawn so we can sleep. But step beyond the measured plan, and you'll rewrite who you are. Yes, you might lose more than you gain, or gain more than you can explain. When you walk outside the known, you risk disaster.
Leaves turn colors, seasons rearrange, winds keep shifting, nothing stays the same. But deep beneath, where silence remains, something stronger never changes. I've changed my words, I've changed my ways, adapted through uncertain days. I've learned to bend, I've learned to grow, let go of things I used to know. But every step and every turn was built on truths I didn't burn. 'Cause change is natural, it has its place, but not everything should be replaced. You can change your mind, you can shift your view, let the world reshape what you thought you knew. But hold your ground, don't rearrange the roots inside that must remain, like leaves that turn in autumn's range. The colors fade, but roots don't change. The world will pour in every way to make you drift, to make you sway, to trade your truth for easy ground, to lose yourself just to fit in the crowd. But storms don't break with planted deep, they test the strength your soul will keep. You can evolve, you can refine, but don't erase your core design. You can change your mind, you can shift your view, grow into someone more honest and true. But hold your ground through every phase, don't lose the fire that made your ways. Like branches moving in the wind's exchange, the surface bends, but roots don't change. Growth is not forgetting who you are, it's carrying your truth through near and far. It's letting go of what was wrong, but keeping what has made you strong. Not every change is meant to stay, some things guide you along the way. But deep inside, where silence stays, your roots define your truest ways. You can change your mind 1,000 times, rewrite your path, redesign your lines. But through it all, don't disconnect from the truth you must protect. Like seasons turning without delay, the world will change in every way, but who you are won't rearrange, because your roots don't change. Don't change.
It starts from actions that make it real. If you wanna change your mind, change the way you move. Don't wait for courage to find you. Take one step, even unsure, and your heart will start to learn what it means to become new. Confidence isn't something found, it's built step by step on shaky ground. Every action writes a line, rewiring thoughts over time. You don't need faith to take a start, you build belief by playing the part. Your hands can lead where your mind won't go, and slowly your thoughts will follow. If you wanna change your mind, change what you do each day. Even small steps find their way. Through the doubt, through the fear, through the voice you always hear. Action speaks before belief, and turns your doubt into relief. You don't become by waiting still, you become through acts of will. Through showing up, through trying again, through failing once and rising in the perfect steps. But steps you take are what define the change you make. If you wanna change your mind, start with what you do. Move your body, pull it through, even when it feels untrue. That's the moment you break through. Because change isn't something you wait to find, it's something you build one act at a time. I've been pushed down into the ground, heard my name spoken without a sound. Every step felt heavy and slow, like nothing I did would ever show. They walked past what I was growing here, called it weak, called it unclear. But underground, where no one sees, something was learning how to breathe. Pressure doesn't end the seed, it teaches it what it needs. What looks like nothing from above is learning how to rise. Step on me, strike me down, I'll still be standing, still be found. As long as I keep working through this, effort won't be lost or used. No matter how hard the ground may be, if I keep going patiently, everything I plant with care will bloom someday. I swear I've seen seasons change too fast, moments where the pain would last. I questioned if it made sense at all to keep on rising after every fall. But roots don't ask how long it takes, they grow because that's the choice they make. Silent days still count as time, and every try draws a line. Growth doesn't answer right away, it listens to the ones who stay. Effort speaks in quiet ways, but it never fades. Crush my hope, test my will, I'll keep my hands in the soil still. I don't need proof, I don't need praise, I trust the work of every day. If I give my all and don't retreat, if I choose effort over defeat, what I'm building deep inside will thinking where you stand. One day you'll hold the fruit of everything you refuse to quit.
We don't just fall in gentle ways, we crash like waves that can't behave. Every word cuts twice as deep when it's the one we couldn't keep. You say my anger's just too much, but it's the shadow of your touch. If I didn't feel you this strong, I wouldn't hold on this long. It's not just love, it's something wild, a fire we can't reconcile. Hate is just the other side of love, born from something deep enough. Every word I throw your way is a feeling I can't escape. And jealousy's a fragile sign of how your heart still intertwines. If I didn't care this much, I wouldn't feel this rough. I see you laugh with someone new, and something breaks I can't undo. It's not just pain, it's something more, a silent war I can't ignore. I wish I didn't feel this way, didn't let it pull me in, but every time I turn away I feel it start again. It's not just anger in my veins, it's love that twisted into pain. Hate is just the other side of love, a mirror I can rise above. Every tear, every fight is proof you're still inside my life. And jealousy won't let me hide, hell, you're still somewhere in my mind. If I didn't care this deep, I'd finally fall asleep. Maybe love is never simple, never soft, never clean. It's the way it stains your heartbeat with everything it's been. And even when it turns to fire, burns the words we used to say. There's a truth we can't deny, it never fully fades away. Hate is just the other side of love, a scar that fits just like a glove. Every wound, every line is something you left behind. And jealousy still lingers on, long after the light is gone. 'Cause if it never mattered at all, I wouldn't feel this at all.
I used to hold what I had tight, afraid of losing what felt right. Same old roads, familiar ground, safety in what I had found. Change looked like a storm to me, something I would never need. If I could just keep things the same, I thought I'd be okay. But comfort slowly turned to change, and stillness started causing pain. Not everyone wants to change, not everyone wants to let go, but when standing still leads to a fall, there's only one way to go. If staying the same becomes the cost, then holding on means loss. Sometimes the only way to survive is to step into change. I've seen moments come and go, watch the world outgrow the old. What once worked begins to fade, what once stood starts to break. You can fight it, you can wait, but time won't hesitate. hesitate if you don't move when life demands. You'll lose what's in your hands. Fear says stay, but truth says move. And deep inside you know it's true. Not everyone wants to change. It's easier to stay the same. But when the ground beneath you shifts, you can't pretend it's safe. If change is what the moment needs, then courage is to proceed. Sometimes the hardest step you take is the one that saves you. Change isn't always what we choose. Sometimes it's what we must move through. Not because we want the pain, but because we can't remain. Growth doesn't ask for comfort first. It asks for movement through the hurt. You don't have to love the change. You don't have to feel no fear. But if not changing breaks your path, then the answer's already clear. When staying still leads to the end, then change becomes your only friend. What feels uncertain now may be the only way to be free. You don't change because it's easy. You change because you must, and that is strength. And that is strength. I thought I'd know it instantly, get it on the first try. But every step felt unfamiliar, like I was asking why. I stumbled over simple things that others made look easy. I almost called it failure before it could teach me. It doesn't mean I can't, it means I'm new. Everything is hard at first, every single start. Every dream begins with a shaking heart. If it feels confusing, if it feels unsure, that's not a sign to quit, that's the door. I watched the ones who mastered it move without a doubt, but I didn't see the days they struggled to figure it out. You don't see the beginning when you see the end. You only see the confidence, not where they've been. Skill is built slowly, not born complete. Everything is hard at first, don't run away. You're not behind, you're on your way. If your hands are shaking, if your pace is slow, that's how every journey starts to grow. Start rough, stay. You don't skip the awkward, you don't skip the fall. Every expert you admire has been through it all. The only difference between them and you is they kept going when it felt untrue. Difficulty isn't a warning, it's a beginning. Everything is hard at first, say it again. That's how you become who you've been. If you push through the friction, if you stay the course, what once felt impossible becomes your source. The mind resists the unknown, the body feels the strain, but growth lives in that tension inside the vein. You don't fail by struggling, you fail when you stop, because the climb is hardest at the very top. Still trying, still learning. Everything is hard at first, but not forever. Every small attempt makes you better. If you stay long enough, you don't reverse. What once felt impossible was just hard at first. just beginning. I used to blame the world outside, the shifting ground, the changing tides. If things were different, I would be closer to who I want to be. I waited for the world to move, for doors to open, paths improve. But nothing changed the way I'd planned, it stayed the same. I thought the answer lived out there, until I saw it wasn't there. It's not always the world that needs to change. Sometimes it's me who has to rearrange the way I see, the way I move, the things I choose to hold as truth. I can't control what's out of reach, but I can shape the part in me more often than I want to admit. The change I need is within. Different places, same old fight. Different faces, same inside. No matter where I tried to go, I carried what I didn't know. You can run, you can replace, but you can't outrun your own space. Until you face what's underneath, nothing's free. It's easier to point and say something else must be the way. It's not always the world that's wrong. Sometimes I've been all along, holding on to what won't grow, expecting life to overflow. If I don't change the way I stand, no better ground will understand the truth I try to keep unseen. The shift begins with me. The mirror doesn't move or lie, it only shows what's inside. And every step I try to take reflects the choices that I make. The world may change or stay the same, but I still have my part to claim. It's not always the world that needs repair. Sometimes the answer's already there, in how I think and how I try and how I choose to live my life. When I shift, the path shifts too. What once felt close breaks open through more often than I wanna see. The change I need is me. I searched outside for something new, but the door was always inside. There are things I try to fight, things I try to understand, things I held too tightly slipping through my hands. I used to think I had to fix it all, but not everything is mine to solve. I've wasted nights on battles lost, choosing what is meant for me. Because holding on to what won't change can slowly turn your life to gray. Change what you can with all your will. Accept the parts that stay there still. And when the weight is far too much, release your grip, loosen your clutch. Not every door is yours to open. Some are meant to stay unspoken. There is courage in trying hard. There is courage in lowering your guard. There is courage in turning back and choosing peace over what you lack. You don't have to carry it all. You don't have to answer every call. Change what you can with all your heart. Accept the truth for what things are. And when something breaks you apart, choose distance, choose a new start. Because strength isn't just holding on, it's knowing when something is done. Having the courage to move on. I stepped on board with a cautious heart, counting waves before we start. Watching the sky, the edge, the rails, wondering how this story fails. Is the wind too strong? Will the night turn rough? Is this ship really built enough? I checked every crack, every sound, missed the view all around. I held the fear like a map in my hand, but forgot why I came to sail this land. If I only watch the storm ahead, I'll miss the joy of where I'm led. If I fear the ship more than the sea, this journey won't belong to me. Waves may rise and winds may change, that's part of every voyage made. Life isn't meant to be survived, it's meant to be lived while it writes. I've seen people stay below deck, measuring risk with every step, talking more about what might go wrong than the reasons they came along. But no one sails to never feel, to never test what's strong or real. The ocean isn't there to scare, it's there to take you somewhere. You don't board a ship to stand still, you board it to feel the thrill. If I only ask, what if I sink? I'll never see the blue between. If I spend my days on guard, I'll forget how far I've come. Storms don't cancel the delight, they just remind us we're alive. Life isn't about reaching shore, it's about loving the voyage more. No ship was built for perfect seas, no life was meant for certainty. The risk is real, the joy is too. You don't get one without the other. If I trust the vessel and my hands, I can dance with what I can't command. I won't let fear be my compass now. I won't miss this moment out. Whatever weather comes my way, I choose to feel the ride. I watch the horizon, breathe the air, laugh with the waves, accept the scare. Life is a journey, not a Every tear I try to hide, every night I barely survived. Felt like proof that I was wrong, like I didn't belong. But nothing painful comes in vain, nothing heavy falls for nothing. Even seeds must break apart before they ever start. What feels like loss is often ground where something stronger settles down. Every painful moment adds up, every scar becomes a plus. What broke your heart, what bent your knees is shaping who you're meant to be. Hard times aren't the opposite of joy, they're the path that leads you there. So don't quit now, don't walk away. You're closer than you think to bloom. Doubts say you're done, but roots grow deepest in the dark, far below where eyes can watch. What you call suffering today is training you in hidden ways. Pain is not the end of you, it's part of the breakthrough. Flowers don't rush the morning sun, they trust the time that's coming. Every bitter tear you cried, every lonely silent fight is a necessary step you take it toward a brighter place. Sadness isn't here to stay, it's preparing you for change. So don't quit when it gets tough, this is where the future grows. What if happiness requires everything you're feeling now? What if pain is not the enemy, but the soul you're standing on? If you leave before the bloom, you'll never know what waited for you. All the suffering you endure is not punishment, it's cure. What hurts today will someday shine, turn into strength, turn into light. Pain and sorrow have a role, they lead you where you're meant to go. So stay, hold on, don't let it end. You're about to see it bloom and bear fruit. I've seen people rise so fast, from empty rooms to shining glass. Golden lights, a louder name, everything but still the same. They say success will change your soul, turn your heart into something new. But I don't think that's how it works, it only shows the truth. It doesn't build what wasn't there, it brings to light what's always been. Money doesn't make you someone else, it only makes you more yourself. Success won't change what's deep inside, it magnifies what you can't hide. If there was kindness, it will grow. If there was darkness, it will show. What rises up when life expands is what was always in your hands. just reveals a little more. Success doesn't make you new, it shows the truest parts of you. So build your heart before the climb, before the lights, before the time. Because what grows when life gets grand is what was always who you are. It doesn't change you, it shows you. So choose carefully who you are before the world can see.
I've been listening to the noise, every voice but not my own. Trying hard to fit the lines in a world I never chose. Every step I hesitated, every truth I suffocated. I was losing who I am just to be what they demanded. But something deep inside my chest keeps telling me what's best. All I need is to be true to the voice I always knew, even if it pulls me far from the place they say I should. I won't hide, I won't pretend, I won't break myself again. Through the doubt, through the fear, I'll follow what is real. All the paths I didn't take, all the chances left behind, were the moments I ignored, what was screaming in my mind. I don't need their validation, I don't need their explanation. All I need is one clear sign, and it's beating in my heart. Every time I turn away, I feel myself begin to fade. All I need is to be true to the voice I always knew, even if I stand alone. I won't let it go again. I won't trade my soul away just to make it through the day, through the dark, through the blue. I'll be honest, I'll be true. Yeah, I've tried to play it safe, but I lost myself that way. Now I hear it loud and clear. This is what I meant to hear. All I need is to be true to the heart that pulled me through. Even if I lose it all, I'll stand up and I won't fall. I don't need another way, I won't turn from this again. Through the pain, through the fear, I'll follow what is real.
They praise progress, they love the word, but they hate the moment it starts to hurt. They cheer the future from far away, but fear the change that makes it stay. You say you want a better world, a different story to be unfurled, but when the ground begins to shake, you start to question every step you take. Because change is fire, change is loud, it breaks the comfort of the crowd. Progress sounds good in peaceful lines, but revolution draws the line. Every shift, every new direction creates resistance, creates rejection. If you wanna move ahead, you'll face the ones who want you dead. Not in body, but in will, trying to keep you standing still. They'll call you reckless, they'll call you wrong, they'll say you don't belong. They'll protect what they have known, even if it's overthrown. Because comfort clings to what it knows, even when it never grows. The more you push, the more they fight. Because your change shines too bright. Progress is a beautiful word, but change is sharp and real. It cuts through lies, it makes you feel. Oh, every step beyond the line creates a reason for decline. They'll resist, they'll stand their ground. They'll try to turn your voice down. But every enemy you meet means your change is real and deep. If no one fights you, you're not changing much. If no one doubts you, you're playing it safe. Real change shakes, real change breaks the things that others refuse to face. So don't be surprised when enemies rise. They are the proof you're shifting the tide. Progress is a beautiful word, but change is where it lives. And change will always take and give. Every step into the unknown will make you stand more alone. But standing there is where you lead. Through doubt, through fear, through what they need. Because the path that moves ahead is built on change. And those who said no. Everything changes, that's what they say. But no one tells you how it feels that day. When what you knew slips away, and you don't know if you'll be okay. A door closes without a sound. The world you built falls to the ground. You stand there lost between what's gone and what you're scared to build upon. It feels like ending, it feels like loss, like something broken you can't cross. But maybe it's not what I used to hold what I had tight, afraid of losing what felt right. Same old roads, familiar ground, safety in what I had found. Change looked like a storm to me, something I would never need. If I could just keep things the same, I thought I'd be okay. But comfort slowly turned to change, and stillness started causing pain. Not everyone wants to change, not everyone wants to let go, but when standing still leads to a fall, there's only one way to go. If staying the same becomes the cost, then holding on means loss. Sometimes the only way to survive is to step into change. I've seen moments come and go, watch the world outgrow the old. What once worked begins to fade, what once stood starts to break. You can fight it, you can wait, but time won't hesitate. If you don't move when life demands, you'll lose what's in your hands. Fear says stay, but truth says move, and deep inside you know it's true. Not everyone wants to change. It's easier to stay the same, but when the ground beneath you shifts, you can't pretend it's safe. If change is what the moment needs, then courage is to proceed. Sometimes the hardest step you take is the one that saves you. Change isn't always what we choose. Sometimes it's what we must move through, not because we want the pain, but because we can't remain. Growth doesn't ask for comfort first, it asks for movement through the hurt. You don't have to love the change, you don't have to feel no fear, but if not changing breaks your path, then the answer's already clear. When staying still leads to the end, then change becomes your only friend. What feels uncertain now may be the only way to be free. You don't change because it's easy, you change because you must, and that is strength. And that is strength.
I try to see the road ahead, draw the map inside my head, looking for a perfect line that would tell me I'd be fine. Every step felt out of place, like a puzzle I couldn't trace. Pieces falling out of view, nothing forming into truth. I was searching for a sign that I'd understand in time, but you can't connect the dots ahead, only looking back instead. Every turn, every fall has a reason after all. So I'll trust what I can't see, even when it scares me. Someday it will all align, every moment, every line. All the things I thought were wrong, all the nights I felt so lost, every path that led nowhere, every dream I almost lost. Now I see it differently. Every piece was part of me, even when I couldn't tell. They were leading me somewhere. I don't need to know it now. I just need to trust somehow. You can't connect the dots ahead, only looking back instead. Every scar, every fight was a step into the light. So I walk without a map, even through the cracks. Someday it will all make sense. Every moment, every step. Yeah, I don't know where this goes, but I feel it in my soul. Every doubt, every fear brought me closer to right here. You can't connect the dots ahead, only looking back instead. So I live without regret, trusting every step I take. Even when I lose my way, I believe I'll be okay. 'Cause I know with time I'll find every dot will align.
Different streets, a different view. New reflection staring back at you. New words, a brand new name. But something feels the same. You changed the colors, changed the scene. Rewrote how everything should be. But underneath the surface lies the same old patterns in disguise. You can shift the shape, the sound, the frame, but that doesn't mean you've really changed. Just because everything looks new doesn't mean it's something true. You can run, you can rearrange, but still be standing in the same place. Real change isn't what you show, it's something deeper you must grow. If the inside stays the same, then nothing really changed. New habits, new routines, different faces in between. But if the way you think remains, you're circled in the same old space. It's easy to repaint the wall, to shift the outside of it all, but harder still to face the core and become something more. You can move 1,000 miles away, but still bring yesterday. Just because your world looks wide doesn't mean you've changed inside. You can hide it, you can pretend, but truth is where the change begins. It's not the place, it's not the face, it's what you build beneath the surface. If the heart remains the same, then nothing really changed. Real change is quiet, hard to see. It breaks what used to comfort me. It questions things I used to know and asks me where I wanna go. It's not a mask, it's not a show, it's letting something deeper grow. Not everything that shifts is growth. Not every move means letting go. The truest change is found within, where it all begins. So don't be fooled by what you see. Look deeper than the surface dream.
turn toward the light, everything begins to change. New colors fill the sky where there once was only gray. Every step I choose to take leads me somewhere I can't see. But the moment I move forward, the world moves with me. I couldn't see before, hidden just beyond the places I was standing still for. And the fear that tried to hold me starts to fade with every mile, turning shadows into something I leave behind. It's not the end I was afraid of. It was learning how to start. When I turn toward the light, I can finally breathe again. All the weight I used to carry starts to loosen in the wind. Every moment opens up into something I can't be. In the second I stop looking back, I'm finally free. Maybe hope was always waiting just outside my line of sight. Not in changing where I've been, but in choosing where I'm going next. In every step I take ahead, writes a story I can trust. Not defined by yesterday, but by who I'm becoming now. So I turn toward the light, and I don't look back this time. Every road is filled with chances I was too afraid to find. Through the unknown, through the change, there's a future calling me. And I know if I keep moving, there's more I'm meant to see.
I kept myself in constant motion, changing paths and changing names, new directions every moment, thinking that it meant I changed. But movement doesn't mean I'm growing, and noise doesn't mean I'm alive. I was running in a circle, calling it a climb. Just because I left a place doesn't mean I found a way. Not every step is forward, not every change is growth. You can move 1,000 miles and still not get any closer. It's not about how much you shift, it's about what you become. Real change is deeper than it looks. It lives beneath the surface. I changed the way I spoke and moved, changed the faces in my view, but the same thoughts followed me, quiet, hidden, hard to see. You can dress a life in something new, rewrite the outside point of view, but if the core remains the same, nothing really changed. Direction matters more than speed, and truth is more than what we see. Not every step is forward, not every change is real. You can chase what feels like progress and still not truly heal. Growth isn't loud, it's not a show, it's something only you will know. It's the shift you can't pretend, the change that starts within. It's easy to confuse the move with meaning, truth, or proof, but progress asks a deeper thing. Who or just different from your past. Not every step is forward, not every change will last, but the ones that shape your soul are the ones that reach your core. So don't be fooled by motion alone or changes you can't own. True growth is quiet, deep and slow, but it's the only way to move forward. Moving is easy, becoming is hard, but only one of them is growth. Yesterday I was certain I could fix the world somehow, pointing fingers at the chaos, saying it should change right now. I had answers, sharp and loud, standing tall against the crowd. I saw broken systems everywhere, fault in every line. I thought if I pushed hard enough the world would realign. I blamed the noise, I blamed the fight, I blamed the wrong, I claimed the right, but every mirror I ignored was quietly keeping score. Its wisdom isn't shouting at everything outside, it's listening to what we hide. Yesterday I tried to change the world with restless hands and open words. Today I see a different way, the place where real change starts to stay. Not in control, not in demand, but in the choices I command. The world may turn beyond my view, but I can change what I do. It's easier to criticize than face the truth within, to call out all the darkness and ignore our own thin skin. But every step I choose to take, every word I say, shakes the world in a quieter way. Not by force, not by pride, but by the shifts I hold inside. Change is patient, change is slow, it starts in places no one knows. Yesterday I tried to change the world, chasing dreams I couldn't hold. Today I'm learning something new, the power in the things I do. Not in control, not in command, but in the way I choose to stand. The world reflects what we begin, so I will start from within. What if the change I want to see is waiting quietly inside of me? In every choice and every day, and how I act and what I say, no grand design, no sudden flame, just steady steps toward who I became. Yesterday I tried to change the world with all the certainty I held. Today I carry wiser sides, I change myself and that feels right. Because the truth I've come to see, the world begins with you and me, and every step I choose to be is shaping what the world will be.
The sun rises for everyone, no matter who you are. The same sky, the same morning light, the same unbroken start. The 24 hours placed in our hands, no richer, no less for anyone. A silent gift we all receive before the day is done. Some let the hours drift away like leaves upon a stream. Some shape them into stepping stones toward a greater dream. We all live under the same clock, the same 24 hours a day. Time is the one gift heaven gave in exactly the same way. But what you build with every minute is where the difference starts. Those who use their time with courage, write their names across the stars. Success is not a sudden spark, not luck falling from the sky. It's hours turned into effort, days that refuse goodbye. While others sleep through quiet chances or wait for perfect signs, someone somewhere keeps working inside those same small times. The world rewards the ones who see what others overlook, that every moment given is a chance to shape the book. We all live under the same clock, no matter where we stand. Time was given equal, every woman and man. But those who rise above the crowd don't own more hours to claim. They simply turn the time they have into a burning flame. Successful, but the secret's easy to find. They simply chose to honor the gift of time. The same 24 hours. What will you build yours?
Hey, hey, hey. At the edge too long, heart racing but my feet are frozen. Every voice is what if you fall, but staying here feels like losing it all. I see the life I want ahead, but fear keeps shouting in my head. Still something louder pulls me through, a quiet truth I cannot know. If I wait until the fear is gone, I'll be waiting all my life. Change doesn't start with certainty, it starts the moment I decide. Take the first step, don't be afraid. Nothing changes if I stay the same. If I don't try, I've already failed. This is the risk I have to take. Every change begins right here, on the other side of fear. I won't know unless I move, I have to choose, I have to choose. Yeah. I've seen chances slip away just because I hesitated, calling it being safe or smart, but safety never moved my heart. I don't need to see the end, just enough faith to begin. Every dream I'm scared to chase is waiting on this first brave step. Failure isn't falling down, it's never leaving the ground. If I'm gonna lose it all, I'd rather lose by trying. Take the first step, don't be afraid. Fear's not a sign I'm in the wrong place. If I don't try, I've already failed, so I'll jump before I hesitate. Every change begins with one, before the race has even begun. I won't wait to feel ready, I move now, that's how I'm free. Courage isn't calm or clear, it shakes its doubts, it shows up here, right in the middle of the fear. That's where my strength appears. I don't need permission now, I don't need to know how. The moment I decide to start is when I finally change my heart. Take the first step, feel the ground. Every future starts right now. I won't let this fear decide who I become or how I try. If I fail, I'll learn, I'll rise. That's a win in its own right. I won't stay where dreams decay, I take the step today. Change is calling out my name, it won't wait, it won't explain, so I'll breathe in, it's the truth. The first step is what I Nothing stays the way it was, not the sky, not even us. Every moment slips away, turning night into a day. I try to hold what felt like home, to freeze a place I'd always known, but time kept moving through my hands. It never stands. The more I try to make it stay, the more it slowly slipped away. Change is something we can't deny. It's written in the passing time. Every breath, every step leads to something different next. It never stops, it never ends. It bends, it breaks, it starts again. Change is not a passing phase, it's the rhythm of our days. Seasons turn without a sound. What was lost is something found. Even pain will shift its shape, even fear begins to fade. What we call the end of things often hides new beginnings. Life is never standing still, it always will. There's no moment we can keep, only waves that rise and leave. Change is something we must face. It lives in every time and place. We can fight or we can flow, but it never lets us go. Oh, it keeps moving, it keeps on long after what we knew is gone. Change is not what comes and goes, it's what forever flows. Forever flows. Maybe peace is not in control, but in letting go of holding on. Not resisting every turn, but trusting what we learned. The river doesn't ask to stay, it finds its strength along the way. Change is endless, always near, in every hope, in every fear. It shapes the world, it shapes our soul. It's the only constant we know. So I won't stand against the tide, I'll walk with time, not run and hide. If everything is meant to change, then I will change with it. Nothing stays, nothing ends. Everything becomes something else.
I kept everything I could, every memory, every should, every promise I outgrew, still hanging on like it was true. I thought strength was holding tight through every wrong, through every fight, but somewhere in the weight I carried, I lost the way I used to breathe. There's a moment you realize not everything is yours to keep. Some things stay, not because they're right, but just because they're heavy. You learn to let things fall away, not because you don't care, but because they weigh you down more than you can bear. It's not defeat, it's clarity, it's choosing what you need. Sometimes you have to let things go just because they're heavy. There are stories that don't fit, there are dreams you've outgrown, there are people, there are places that no longer feel like home. And it hurts to finally see what you thought was meant to be was only something you were holding out of fear to be free. You don't lose by letting go, you don't break by setting free. You just make a little space for who you're meant to be. You'll learn to let things fall away, even when it hurts to choose, because holding on to everything is how you slowly lose. It's not about forgetting, it's about finding peace. Sometimes you have to drop the weight to finally feel release. No, not everything that stayed was meant to stay this long. Not everything that stayed because you held. Not
let things fall away and finally understand that light, it doesn't mean you lost, it means you chose to stand. It's not about giving up, it's about being free. Sometimes you let things go just because they're heavy.
I've learned to open up my hands, let people in, let them stand close. I've shared my hopes, I've shared my plans, believed in words they spoke. Trust can lift you off the ground, it can teach your heart to try. But I've seen promises fade out like stars before the sky. Faith in others keeps me kind, keeps the world alive. But there's a truth I had to find, one that holds when things divide. Believe in people, let them be, let them walk their truth freely. But when it comes to choosing who I'll be, I believe in me. I can listen, I can learn, I can let bridges burn or turn. I trust the world, but in the end, I believe in me 100 times more. I've seen support turn into doubt, seen silence where I heard applause. I've seen opinions change their sound when things don't follow laws. Still, I don't regret my trust, it made me who I am. But when the ground gives way beneath my feet, must choose to stand. Advice can point me down a road, hands can help me rise. But walking forward in the dark is something I decide. Believe in people, give them room, give them space to change their view. When the night comes closing in, I believe in me. I hear the noise, I weigh the words, but I choose what truth I serve. I trust the world, but in the end, I believe in me 100 times more. Not because I know it all, not because I never fall, but because I'm the one who stays when everyone else walks away. My belief won't always shine, but it won't leave me behind. Believe in people, let them try, let them fail, let them rise when the choice is mine to make. I believe in me, I can respect another's view, still stay honest, still stay true. I trust the world, but in the end, I believe in me 100 times more. Trust makes us human, belief makes us move, and the strongest faith I hold is the one that keeps me standing in myself.
I've been chained by everything, all the weight I couldn't break, every wall in front of me, every step I couldn't take. I was falling in the dark, with no place to catch my breath. Thought the pain would bury me, thought I'd slowly fade to death. But something deep inside me grew in every moment I went through. Because I bound, I learned to fly. Because I heard, I reach the sky. Because I break, I stand again. Because I cry, I move ahead. Every scar became my wings, every loss taught me to breathe. couldn't stand all the times I lost my way. Every tear I tried to hide was the price I had to pay. I don't see it like before, I don't fear it anymore. Every shadow that I face only pushes me to soar. All the pain I tried to fight turned into my inner light. Because I'm bound, I learn to fly. Because I fall, I rise up high. Because I bleed, I feel alive. Because I lose, I still survive. Every tear became my fire. Every fall took me higher. Everything that broke me down felt me now. Yeah, I've been down, I've been torn, but that's where I was reborn. Every chain, every pain turned into my strength again. Because I'm bound, I learn to fly. Because I hurt, I touch the sky. Because I break, I won't give in. Because I cry, I rise again. Every scar became my wings. Every loss became everything. Everything that held me down set me free. Right
Yeah. You keep looking in the rearview at the roads you left behind. Every memory like a shadow that keeps pulling at your mind. All the things you couldn't carry, all the dreams that slipped away, feel like pieces of your story you can never rearrange. But every door you walked away from led you here somehow. There's something better ahead, more than what you left behind. Every step you take now is rewriting your design. All the pain you thought you lost was just making room instead for something greater than before. There's something better ahead. Not every ending is a failure, not every loss is wrong. Sometimes life is just a turning to where you belong. All the nights you felt were empty, all the tears you tried to hide, we're building something stronger deep within your life. Every moment that you lost is a path you had to take. There's something better I've waited on a better day, like it would come and call my name. Blame the time, blame where I stand, but nothing moved while I just planned. I watched the world keep running fast while I was stuck inside the past, hoping things would rearrange, but hope alone don't make a change. Wishing feels safe, trying feels hard, but comfort never moved the start. Every dream I say I want is asking what I've actually done. Nothing changes if I don't push, if I don't sweat. I can't complain about the road if I never take a step. I don't get more by standing still, I don't grow by staying safe. Nothing changes if I don't, so I choose the work today. I've talked about the life I want, like words were somehow enough, but every goal I haven't chased is proof I've been afraid. No one's coming to save my time, no shortcut waiting down the line. If I want something different now, I've gotta be the difference somehow. Results don't come from what I say, they're built by what I do each day. Every excuse I hold too tight is stealing from my future life. Nothing changes if I don't try, if I don't fail. Every door I say is closed, this one I never push myself. I don't earn more by wanting less, I don't rise by staying the same. Nothing changes if I don't, so I choose the work. The pain, effort isn't loud or clean, it's showing up when no one sees. It's choosing growth instead of peace again, relentlessly. I don't need the perfect start, I just need to do my part. One small move, one honest try can rewrite the reasons why. Nothing changes if I don't. I won't wait for luck or signs. Every future I believe in starts with effort here and now. I don't fear the sweat and strain, they're proof I'm still alive. Nothing changes if I don't, so I change by trying. No more waiting, no disguise. I see the truth in my own eyes. If I want a different life, it starts with me tonight. I used to wait for better days, for something out there to change my ways. A sign, a push, a helping hand, something I could understand. I thought the shift would come to me, like fate would set the moment free. But time kept passing, nothing moved until I did. Hope is quiet when it waits, but change begins when action breaks. If you want a better way, you can't just hope and pray. Some things won't fix themselves, you have to move them anyway. If you're waiting for the world, you might be waiting forever. The change you're asking life to give is something you must deliver. No one else can walk my road, no one else can bear my load. Advice may guide and hands may help, but I must move myself. The life I want won't build alone, it grows from what I choose to own. And every step I hesitate is one I have to take. There's a point where waiting ends and doing must begin. If you want a better change, you have to rearrange the way you act, the way you think, the limits you maintain. but it's still yours to fight. You can wish or you can choose. One creates, one lets you lose. The power isn't far away. It's in what you do today. If you want a better life, you have to step inside the role you've tried to push away and face it, not deny. Change doesn't come from somewhere else. It comes from what you do. If you want things to be different, it starts with you. No signal, no rescue, just a choice in you. And you. They told me be realistic, know your place, stay small. People like you don't change the world, not at all. They counted all the reasons why it wouldn't work, measured every outcome before I even start. But something in me refused to agree. It's the ones who believe they can start to move the ground, the ones who burn so deeply they can't turn around. Not logic, not permission, not waiting for a sign. It's being so consumed you blur the line. You don't change the world by asking if you should. You change it when you're driven beyond what's understood. When doubt becomes a whisper and fire takes the lead, you stop asking questions and start to breathe. Belief, obsession breaks limits that reason can't. It's the ones who are too much, too loud, too bold, too certain of a vision no one else can hold. The ones who won't let go even when it bends. That's how impossible things begin. Believe, burn. History doesn't remember the careful and the still. It remembers the ones who force their will, not by power or control, but by relentless flame, by refusing to accept that's just the way. Reality doesn't shift for hesitation. It's the ones who are consumed who change the view, the ones who feel so strongly they break through, not waiting for the world to rearrange, but moving so intensely it has to change. You don't need everyone to understand. You need a fire they can't withstand, because when belief runs deeper than fear can reach, the impossible becomes within reach. Still doubted, still moving. It's the ones who believe they can, who bend the line, who rewrite what's possible over time. Not because it was easy, not because it was planned, but because they were crazy enough to stand. Too much, too driven to lie. They told you where you started would decide the road you take, that every step behind you is a measure you can't break. But mountains don't remember where the rivers first began. They only rise toward heaven as high as they can stand. It's not the ground beneath your feet, it's the sky you choose to see. It's not where you begin, it's how high you aim. Not the place you stand, but the fire in your flame. The stars don't ask your story or the road you came through. They only shine for dreamers who believe they can break through. So lift your eyes again, let the old fears fall away. Success is not your starting line. Some were born in sunlight, some were raised in endless rain. Some were handed kingdoms, some had nothing but their pain. But every heart is given one horizon to pursue, and the height of every mountain depends on how you view. If your dreams are high enough, even storms can't hide the sky. It's not where you begin, it's how high you aim. Not the place you stand, but the fire in your flame. The stars don't ask your story or the road you came through. They only shine for dreamers who believe they can break through. So lift your eyes again, let the old fears fall away. Success is not your starting line, it's how high you aim. It's how high you aim. Raise your dreams like towers, touch the clouds above. Every step you take will rise toward what you love. The sky was never meant for those who look below. It's not where you begin, it's how high you aim. Every dream you chase lights a brighter flame. The stars don't know your past, they only see your light. And every soul that dares to rise can change the darkest night. So lift your eyes again, let the whole world hear your name. Success is never where you start, it's how high you aim. It's how high you aim. I stood at the edge for so long, trying to figure it out, watching the current move on while I stayed trapped in doubt. I wanted answers before the fall, a map before I moved at all. But nothing ever made it clear, standing frozen here. You can learn the river by standing on the shore. You have to let it take you, understand it more. Dive into the unknown, don't fight the tide. Let the current carry you, stop asking why you don't understand change. By holding on alone, you understand it fully when you become the flow. It's not about control or plans, it's not about where you stand. It's letting go of what you knew and letting something new break through. Fear will tell you not to move, that you might lose what you can't prove. But staying still won't show you how to live inside the now. The truth is never found in what you try to hold, it lives in what you answer, even when it's cold. Dive into the unknown, don't hold the line. Let yourself be carried by something bigger than time. You don't understand change. From a distance alone, you understand it deeply when you become the flow. Let go of needing control. Let go of needing to know. The moment you surrender is the moment you grow. Dive into the unknown, even if you're afraid. There's something waiting in the current that can't be explained. You don't understand change by standing alone. 'Cause used to think that growing old was written in the lines we showed. Years on skin, the weight of time, a quiet, steady climb. But I've seen hearts that turned to stone long before their hair went gray, and others still with open minds who never lost their way. It's not the years that make us fade, it's the moments we stop changing. You're only as young as your last change, as your courage to rearrange, not by time, not by age, but by the way you break your frame. If you can still shift what you believe, still question what you used to see, then something inside you remains alive, awake, unchanged by age. It's easy to hold what we know tight, to call it truth, to call it right, to build a world that never bends and never grows again. But every truth can evolve with time, every thought can be refined. The strongest minds are not the same, they learn to change. The fear of change will lock the door, the will to change will open more. You're only as young as your last change, as the risks you still embrace. Every shift, every turn is a sign you're still awake. If you can rewrite what you thought, let go of what you once held strong, then time can never take away the youth that lives in change. Stillness may feel safe and true, but growth is something stillness won't do. The moment you refuse to bend is where the aging truly begins. But every time you choose to see a different side of what could be, you begin again. You're only as young as your last change, as your strength to turn the page, not by years, not by time, but by how often you redefine. If your mind is still alive, still willing to evolve and rise, then no matter what they say, you're young in every way. It's not about how long you've lived, it's about how often you've changed.
I've been running out of ways, every door just faced the gray. No more answers left to find, just a war inside my mind. Every step feels like the end, every breath I have to bend. Try to fight, try to stand, but I'm slipping through my hands. They say stop, you've gone too far, but I know just where we are. Don't tell me this is where it ends, when I got nothing left to spend. I'll take one step to the edge, even if it breaks me then. When there's nothing left to hold, that's when I become my own. At the collapse. Every path I try to map, nothing left to guarantee. No more safe reality. But maybe this is what it takes to finally cut away the chains. When I've got nothing left to lose, that's when I decide to choose. No more fear, no more lies. I'll face it with open eyes. Don't tell me this is where it ends. This is where I start again. I'll take one step to the edge, even if I fall instead. When there's nothing left to hold, that's when I become my own. At the edge I'll finally see the wind was waiting there for me. Yeah, I've been down to nothing left, standing face to face with death. But I won't turn, I won't break. This is the leap I have to take. This is not where I will end. This is where I rise again. At the edge I spread my wings, feel the wind beneath everything. When I thought I lost it all, that's the moment I stood tall. At the edge I finally see the wind was waiting there for me.
I used to stare up at the open sky, wondering how it feels to rise. I wanted wings without the ground, wanted lift without the sound of my feet, learning how to land, how to trust where I stand. But dreams don't start above the floor, they start with learning how to stand once more. You don't wake up knowing how to soar, you don't skip what came before. Every high is earned below, that's something no one tells you. If you wanna learn how to fly someday, you have to stand up first. You have to walk through doubt and rain, run until it hurts. You climb, you fall, you find your pace. You dance with fear, you learn its shape. There's no way to skip the ground before you fly. You learn the now. I've seen people chase the sky, hate the steps that pass them by. Call the waiting wasted time, call the slow work a sign. But muscles grow by being used, balance comes from being bruised. Every lesson lives in motion, not in wishing or devotion. You don't rise by closing your eyes, you rise by trying. Every time the air responds when you're prepared, not before. If you wanna learn how to fly someday, you have to move your feet. Step by step you build a way from ground to sky beneath. You walk, you run, you climb, you sway. You learn to move in your own way. There's no shortcut to the clouds before you fly. You live it out. You live it out. Standing teaches you where you are, walking teaches you how far. Running shows you what you're made of, climbing shows you what you love. Dancing teaches you to feel alive. And one day all of that teaches you how to fly. If you wanna learn how to fly one day, honor every step below the ground is not your enemy. It's the reason go to fly. I've been pushed down to the ground, heard the laughter, felt the sound. Every hit, every scar left a mark on who you are. They said stop, they said enough, called persistence being tough. But I learned pain doesn't end the flame, it only tests the name. I don't need the world to see what's growing quietly. Even if I'm stepped on, even if I'm struck, I keep moving, I don't give up. Effort doesn't break, it bends and bends until it learns to stand. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I believe it here and now. If I keep going through it all, one day this work will bloom. Some days feel like nothing's changed, like every try goes down the drain. But roots grow deep where no one looks, not in glory, not in books. The strongest trees don't rush the sky, they survive the longest nights. What looks fragile, what looks small isn't weak at all. Time doesn't rush what's meant to last, it waits for effort to stack. Even when the weight comes down, even when I'm pressed to ground, I choose the work, I choose the strain, I choose to stand up once again. No promise, no applause, just faith in what I've done so far. If I keep showing up each day, one day this pain will pay. The seed doesn't argue with the stone, it grows around, it grows alone. It doesn't ask if it's unfair, it just decides to live right there. And one day, breaking through the ground, it shows what patience found. I've been stepped on, I've been tried, I've bent, I've cracked, but I survived. Not because the road was kind, but because I stayed the line. Effort never lies or leaves, it stays until it's finally seen. Keep going, even through the gloom, because someday this will bloom. You don't bloom while you're buried, you bloom because you stayed. I've heard the same complaints on repeat, same old blame on the same old streets. They talk about what's not fair, like waiting will get them there. But I've seen eyes that shine at dawn, hands still working when hope feels gone. They don't shout, they don't pretend, they build tomorrow where they stand. One talks about what should be, the other asks what can I do. Same clock, same day, same ground, different words make different sounds. The ones who work, they speak in hope, they see a path where others don't. They talk about what they'll become while moving toward it step by one. The ones who wait, they speak and blame every loss somebody else to name. Hope is loud when effort stays, complaints are quiet, work delayed. I've watched dreams die in conversation, drowned in doubt and hesitation. So much talk about how it's wrong, not one move to carry on. Then there's those who don't say much, just show up when it's rough. They don't need the perfect sign, they trust the grind, they trust the climb. Words reveal where hearts reside, and what we build or what we hide. You can hear it in the tone of those who move and those who moan. The ones who work, they speak and hope, they plan tomorrow while they cope. They don't deny the weight they feel, they sounds like watch me try again, not why does this keep happening. The ones who work, they speak in hope. Even when the road is slow, they talk about what's possible while making it unstoppable. I won't let my voice be noise, I'll let it be a choice. Hope talks louder every day when effort leads the way. I'll watch my words, I'll choose my tone, I'll speak in hope and build my own. Cause effort writes the life I see, and hope sounds like becoming me. I used to watch from far away, see someone rise and think no way. They seemed untouchable somehow, like something I'd never allow myself to dream, myself to claim. Like their success was not my lane. But then it hit me clear as sun. If they did it, it can be done. Their victory isn't my defeat, it's a roadmap at my feet. If someone made it to that height, it proves the climb is real. If one heart turned a dream to life, then mine can learn to feel the same fire, the same belief. Not copy, not compete. Every win I see out there is proof that I can reach it too. It doesn't fall from above, it's built from choices, built from days when doubt was louder than the praise. Someone stood where I stand now, unsure of when or even how, but they kept moving, they stayed strong. That's how they proved me wrong. Didn't open a secret door, they walked through effort's corridor. If someone broke the ceiling first, it means it can be cracked. If one person rewrote the script, then limits aren't a fact. Not luck alone, not fate alone, but work and faith combined. Every success I witness now expands what's possible in mine. Envy shrinks the heart, but inspiration makes it start. I don't look up to feel small, I look up to rise it all. Their light doesn't dim my flame, it shows me I can play the same game. If someone turned their dream to truth, it's evidence, not exception. If one can rise beyond the doubt, then so can my reflection. I won't compare, I'll understand. Their win is not the end. Every success I see achieved is proof I can begin. Not jealousy, not despair, just proof it's possible. I've seen names fade into dust, glory turn to broken trust. All the things we thought would stay disappear and drift away. Money comes and money goes, rises fast and crashes low. Everything can slip through hands faster than we understand. You can lose it all tonight and still find a way Nothing ever stays the same. Not the sky, not even your name. Every second slips away before you even try to hold its shape. We chase forever, try to freeze. Moments drifting like the breeze. But beauty lives where things don't stay, in the space that fades away. It's not in what remains, it's not in what we keep. It's in the quiet shifts we almost miss. The only poetry is now. In the moment things are changing, not in what we've held somehow, but in what we're becoming. Right here between the breath and time, where nothing stays the same. That fleeting moving instant is where the beauty lives. A falling light, a passing face, a heartbeat we can't replace. Every second turning new before we even know it's through. We think the meaning's in the end, or in the things we can defend. But truth is written in between, and what we lose in what we've seen. You can't capture what it is, you can't make it stay, but that's what makes it real anyway. The only poetry is now. In the moment things are changing, not in something fixed and loud, but in the quiet rearranging. Right here between the rise and fall, where time begins to blur. That living, breathing instant is the only poem we are. We are not what we were, we are not what we'll be. We are this shifting moment, this becoming we can't see. The only poetry is now. In the second we are turning, not in what we try to hold, but in the endless learning. Every change, every breath, every flicker of a soul is the only living verse we'll ever truly know. Right now, that's the poem. I used to think that I should stay the same as yesterday. Hold the line, don't shift too much. Call it strength, call it enough. But time kept moving through my hands, changing things I couldn't plan. And slowly I began to see change is part of me. Nothing living stays the same. Every breath rewrites the name. To grow is to change, there's no other way. Every step forward reshapes who I am today. And if perfection has a name, it's not stillness, it's the flame. It's changing again and again, becoming more than I've been. I've tried to hold a perfect frame, afraid of losing what I've made. But perfect isn't something still, it moves with every will. What I was is not a loss, it's the ground I'm building on. Every version that I leave still lives in me. There's no final shape to find, only forms we leave behind. To grow is to change, to shift, to rearrange. Every lesson, every fall rewrites it all. And if perfection truly lives, it's in how we choose to shift again and again. be. Who we're meant to be. The river doesn't try to stay. It finds its strength by changing shape. And just like water finding sea, we grow through movement constantly. Stillness isn't where we rise, it's in the change we realize. To grow is to change, to never stay the same. Every breath, every day leads another way. And perfection isn't a place, it's a rhythm we embrace. A life that keeps learning to bend and changing again and again.